Thursday, October 10th. Welcome back to the Damon Bruce Show, brought to you by Ike Sandwiches. And welcome, 49ers fans, to the gauntlet. The hard part of the schedule is officially here. It is officially tonight. If you want a poker game, we have nothing but high-stakes poker over the next 3 weeks for the San Francisco 49ers, based on the opponent, based on the circumstances, and based on the buzz that all 3 weeks of competition are going to generate for the 49ers. It is time to look good, feel good, play good. There is no doubt about it. How do you want to whack this up? How do you want to whack up what is on the line here? Well, the Seahawks, as far as I'm concerned, are the 49ers' natural rival. Like, I understand that the Rams showing back up in LA was supposed to be NorCal, SoCal, and all that stuff, and the Rams already got a win over the 49ers this year, and yada, 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 yada. To me, it is still 49ers Seahawks, and that determines the West. Call me old-fashioned. This, to me, is now the new 49er natural rival in the NFC West. So you got a big division game. There's no Pete Carroll there, so it does make it a little bit less of that blood feud. Carroll's geographical tie to the Bay Area obviously added a little spice to that. Him whipping gum around and throwing it at people. We don't get that anymore, but this is still a big division opponent. It's an NFC West sink or swim game for the 49ers. You lose this one, you're in some trouble of the highest order. You are now 0-3 in your division. You're 0-4 in your conference, but you win this one, you're tied for first place in the NFC West. That sounds like a pretty big game to me. You got the stage all to yourself. Thursday night football, Amazon, everyone going to be looking just at the 49ers, the galactic NFL microscope, not just from 49er fans, but everybody will be on this game, looking at what the 49ers do and do not do well. And there is an awful lot of misrepresentation of who they are through the first 5 weeks, and we will get into that right here. Nothing less than the Kansas City Chiefs follow this game. So you're going to want to be 500, because 2-4 going into a Chiefs game sounds like that could turn into 2-5, and no team, I don't care what the promise of a late season turnaround might present, no team wants to start 2-5 in its first 7 games. Not a single team in football that has ever wanted to go to a Super Bowl starts like that, right? That's a yuck situation. After the Kansas City Chiefs, it is the noise, it is the attention that comes with the Dallas Cowboys. So, again, welcome to the high-stakes poker room here in the casino. A massive division game against your arch rival this evening. The team that keeps beating you in Super Bowls next week. And then a natural historical rival in the Dallas Cowboys, who everyone's still trying to figure out exactly what they are. And look, we're still trying to figure out exactly what the 49ers are. And it'll be easy to see who the 49ers are when their defense grows a pair. There is no doubt that playing a better brand of defense is something that 49er fans have come to expect. Full stop. Has it been the worst defense in football this year? No, it hasn't. Not even close. They're still a top 10 team in sacks. They're still right in the middle of the pack in terms of yardage giving up, in terms of points giving up. They're not giving up 22 points per game. Like, they're still holding teams to under 3 touchdowns pretty much for the most part. They're giving up some yards. They're making mistakes, communicative mistakes. They look a little bit slow at times, but even with all of that, that really isn't the problem. It is not a great defense, but it's not nearly the trash can emoji that people are trying to make it out to be. What has been a 49er trash can emoji for real here so far this year, is this offense in the red zone. If this offense right now in just the red zone were league average, the 49ers would be 5-0. That's including the underperforming defense. That is including the special teams that only kicks in clown shoes and covers kickoffs in clown shoes and kick returns in it's a clown shoes special teams. You could keep the clown shoes on the special teams. You could keep this defense kind of being a little bit of a and had they been just league average in the red zone, they're a 5-0 football team right now. They have a 1-point loss to Arizona, a 3-point loss to the Rams, and a 6-point loss to Minnesota. And over those games, the 49ers made it to the red zone 13 times, and they only scored 5 touchdowns in those games. Right now, The 49ers are number 2 in the NFL in reaching the red zone. They're number 2 in average drive length. The first 80 yards of the football field, the 49ers are kicking an awful lot of ass over them. It's the last 20 yards where they are really struggling. The numbers are, by the way, number 2 getting into the red zone, number 2 average length of drive. Those are better than their league averages were last year. So their offense, arguably, for 80 yards of a football field is better now than it's ever been. But those last 20 yards, those red zone yards, are where everything has kind of gone wrong for the 49ers so far this year. Warren Sharp, who is awesome at moving numbers around. And look, I don't have a graphics department working for me during this live stream. So we will, I'm going to hit you with some numbers here. Try to keep up, but I think you're going to understand. It won't be too much. Warren Sharp, who's a big numbers guy, said, I found the one thing that explains it all. Last season, the 49ers in 2023 were number 1 in red zone conversion percentage at 67%. Right now, they're 41%. That's 29th in the NFL. Goal-to-go conversion rate. Last year, number 4 in the NFL at 83%. This year, 31st in the NFL, just 50%. The 49ers, again, are better at getting into the red zone than they've ever been, and worse once they get in there than anyone could have expected. Now, I think that's a direct reflection of the absence of Christian McCaffrey. And this is without a doubt a place where Kyle Shanahan and Brock Purdy need to get on that same page and stay on schedule on 1st and 2nd and goal, to not set 3rd and goal up to be a play rate, a play with a failure rate to it. You want to stay on schedule in the red zone, and the 49ers have been bad at that this year. Again, if you're analyzing what we've seen right now from the 49ers is one big trash can emoji. My friends, you're being misinformed. You're watching, Chicken Little content creators where the sky falling is all they have to do is actually sell you. It's not nearly as mature as talking about patience. But that's what 49ers fans need. Now, the nice thing is you don't have to be patient much longer. The NFL is here in the next 3 weeks to tell the 49ers who they are in this league. But the 49ers still have a chance to tell the NFL who they are to this league. And right now, they are a better than average football team who is 1 game under 500 with enough of a runway still in front of them to do something this year. This is a huge game on Thursday Night Football. There is no doubt about that. You got to have it. You really do. The defense looks old, confused, a little slow. I'm not here to argue any of that with you, but none of that would even come close to mattering or standing out like the sore thumb it has if this team were just league average, much less better than average, in the red zone. Kyle needs to figure it out with better plays that keeps this team on schedule. Brock needs to get that ball out faster than he has been. He is cooking the grenade way too long while he's laying in the trenches of the red zone. You got to pull the pin, get it out. That's where the 49ers were at their best last year. That's where they need to be at their best this year. So this is a preseason live stream. We are not getting into the fact that the Warriors shot 900 threes in Sacramento in a preseason game. I am not talking about this being the first night of Sharks hockey and no one's probably going to watch because everyone's watching 49ers football. We are not going to be talking about how the baseball playoffs have been delivering drama and San Diego has as big of a sporting event waiting for it in LA on Friday night as it's had in years. We're not talking about any of that. We're just talking football here. It's a preseason. How often do I get to do a pregame show? Excuse me, preseason? Nothing. This is regular season. How often do I get to do a pregame show anymore? That's kind of what this is. And I invite you to be back here at 2-minute warning of the fourth quarter. The studio is already built. You can find it on my YouTube page. You can go into that studio right now. You can hit notify and not miss us when we go live tonight with an incredible chat room at the 2-minute warning. So watch the end of the game, get out all your angst, and then we throw it right into post-game mode here on the Damon Bruce Show. We have our very good friend Ike giving you an incredible option for lunch today, tomorrow, any day you want it. Ike has got the best sandwich in the world waiting for you. Go get yourself a sandwich at Ike's. I highly recommend the Damon Bruce. I'm delicious steak, provolone, little steak sauce, an onion ring right on the sandwich to add crunch, not a onion ring, but onion rings. Give you a little crunch, a little steakhouse experience, some Godfather sauce on that bad boy. You're going to be happy. You're going to be happy so much that you're going to want to sign up for that Ike's Love Rewards program. When you do, you get a free sandwich just for doing that. By being a part of the Love Rewards program, you earn your way towards more free sandwiches in your very near future. You get to win chips. You get to win sodas. You get to win discounts. And you get registered to go to a football game that they're playing at the Superdome in New Orleans in February. I don't know if the Niners are going to be there, but if you win that from my man Ike, you and a friend will be. So, these are sandwich days, and no one has a better sandwich day than the person who went into Ike's to get their sandwich. Over 100 locations. Hopefully there's one near you. Go get yourself some Ike's. We also want to let you know that if you're watching this one, don't know where to go to watch this one, go to the Dubliner on a Thursday night. They will have the Niner game on for you. It's a great place to watch some sports on the weekend, some playoff baseball. They got all the TVs you need without it being an obnoxious sports bar because they got the right people in there. It is a fantastic neighborhood bar that just does perfect pours, great sports, good camaraderie, the right volume. I can't even tell you how much this old man appreciates the right volume in a bar. Go to the Dubliner in West Portal to watch your Thursday night game tonight. And then hopefully you plan on joining us during the bye week of the 49ers season. We will be at the Dubliner. Still haven't picked whether we're doing that on Saturday or Sunday, but you will know soon. Thank you so much for liking and subscribing to this video. Thank you so much for being a part of the initiated. If you become a member here of this channel, it is certainly appreciated, and you're doing an awful lot to help support and grow this channel. We want to be at 25,000 subscribers by Halloween. So share this video. You know someone who's excited about this Niner game tonight. Make sure you share it with them. Tell them to come on into the Damon Bruce Plus, because the water is fine. And when I say water, I usually mean we drink right out of the bottle. But right now, what we have is some delicious coffee going on, and that sip of the day status right there. Sip of the day status. Dubliner too far from you. We need you on West Portal rocking New Era 84. You usually show up no matter where we are, so I hope you can close the distance the same way I hope that the 49ers can close the distance that they have found themselves traveling behind in their own division. They're better. They are better than what we have seen. Now, what's funny to me is I was watching a little Colin Cowherd this morning on FS1. And look, what can I tell you other than it's pretty obvious that a producer hands some of Colin his talking points, or they have some numbers that they build a talking point around. So the talking point for Cowherd this morning about the 49ers was Brock Purdy's regression. And he's saying that the regression is a little bit alarming because the only thing that has changed for Brock Purdy this year is no Christian McCaffrey. So you take one thing away and everything gets worse, according to Colin Cowherd. Well, there is an awful lot more than that. But here's what he shared. And look, based on these numbers, yeah, there's a little bit of a regression. Here we go. Brock Purdy's completion percentage this year is 65.6. His career is 68%. Right now, Brock Purdy has a worse completion percentage than Tennessee Titans quarterback Will Levis. He has 6 total touchdowns this year. That is worse than the total touchdowns thrown that Justin Fields has. Justin Fields is a challenged to throw the ball forward quarterback that is trying to reestablish his career in Pittsburgh. And again, Brock Purdy has fewer touchdowns than Justin Fields right now. Giveaways. And this is the really damning part. Brock has turned it over and given it away 6 times. That's worse than Mr. Hand the other team the football, Daniel Jones of the New York Giants, who has only given the ball away 3 times. So Colin put up all all those numbers and looked at Brock and measured them against inarguably mediocre to below league average quarterback play and said he has regressed, and he's only missing one guy. He is not only missing one guy. He's only missed one guy named Christian McCaffrey through all 5 games so far this year. But what he has also missed, what he has also missed are McCaffrey and Hargrave and George Kittle. Again, not all injuries need to be on the offensive side of the ball to make 49er football work a little differently. Again, he's missed Hargrave, he's missed McCaffrey, he's missed George Kittle, he's missed Deebo Samuel, and Talanoa Hufanga. Each one of those guys has missed at least one game already because of an injury. He's missed, a little Mooney Ward, Fred Warner, Bosa, and Trent Williams' ability to stay on the field for each and every game so far. Those guys have gotten in-game hurt. So there's some subtractions happening right there. Brandon Ayuk has only really reported for duty one day so far this season, ready to go. And it was last weekend, and it's been his best weekend since his hold in, whatever ended right before the season got underway. So Brandon Ayuk has essentially, even though he's been out there, he hasn't really been out there but for one game to make any of a difference. And, this team hasn't played with its first-round draft pick on offense yet either. So to say there's only one missing ingredient for Brock Purdy, and that is, the reason why he might not be worth the big thing is because if you look at this, if you take one thing away from Brock, look at how it all falls apart. There is not just one thing that has been taken away from Brock. I could see how someone sitting on the outside looking in could say that, but anyone who's been paying close attention to what's going on here would never say that. It's been a rocky start through 5 weeks. And having said all of that, as bad and disappointing and rocky as it's looked, if they're just league average in the red zone, they are 5-0. And if they were 5-0, we probably wouldn't be complaining about things like defensive speed, right? Even though you'd know it was a little bit of a problem, you wouldn't be complaining about it at 5-0. But boy, 2-3 has left the floodgates open for complaints. Getting back to 3-3 with a, hey, everybody, we're still the San Francisco 49ers win this evening up in Seattle is exactly what the doctor ordered. A look good, feel good, play good. Well, we know they're going to look good in all whites. We hope that they feel good with the right game plan going into this game. If they start scoring in the red zone, that means they will be playing good. And if you're doing all three of those things, I'd highly recommend it before the Chiefs get into town. And I'm going to tell you right now, watch every single one of these easily rattled members of 49er content creator universe. Should they win this week and next week, it's going to go from trash can emoji, this season's over, to, they won 2 in a row over the Seahawks and the Chiefs, and now here come the Cowboys. You win that game too. People are going to be talking about this team winning the Super Bowl just like that. It's amazing how you can go from, I think we're going to be great, to now we're 2-3, so we must suck. We must be the Jacksonville Jaguars, to, now we beat the Kansas City Chiefs. Not that we're just going to assume they beat the Kansas City Chiefs. Again, you got to show your work here on your homework assignment, 49ers. Now, if they lose in Seattle tonight, it's not going to be good. But if they win in Seattle, the chances to get this ball rolling in the right direction so thoroughly present itself with who's coming up next week. Because you beat the Kansas City Chiefs. What you're not about to do against any other team in football is right out the window, right? Right? So let's see where the 49ers are tonight around 8:30, when I hope you plan on joining me right back here on the channel for the 2-minute warning. And then let's see where they are 2 weeks from now after the Kansas City Chiefs have been put to bed. Then 3 weeks from now, you beat the Dallas Cowboys, and everybody in the world will be watching that. What's that, the Sunday Nighter? I mean, the amount of attention that is going to, the pendulum to, hey, the 49ers are pretty good, is going to swing back so far it's going to hit you in the fucking chin. Here we go. Like I said, you wanted high-stakes poker? Hopefully you get dealt pocket aces. The 49ers have been sitting on like 8-7 offsuit, and they're trying to catch some shit in the river in the flop right here. Let's see how they do. But it has not been a good opening hand in this season for the 49ers. It doesn't mean they're out of the game. Doesn't mean they've been thrown out of the casino. No way, no how. I thought this was pretty interesting. Nick Wagner said, without McCaffrey, the already small spaces have grown even tighter, which has led to Purdy missing some reads and holding the ball a little bit more. His average time to throw in the red zone right now is a whopping 3.43 seconds. That's up from 2.97 last year. I already told you that Tom Brady talking about Brock in last week's game was kind of interesting. Shown a running clock. Brock's running around for 11 seconds with the football. Brady gets asked, how long have you ever held a football? And he said 2.7 seconds. 2.7. It's out of there in 2.7. And Brock needs to get back to that. He absolutely needs to get back to that. And if he does, I think things are going to just work a little bit better. Staying on schedule in the red zone. 49ers do that. Wait until you see how much better all of a sudden this defense looks. Wait until you see how less we're complaining about special teams if they're scoring an amount of points that are officially now hard to keep up with. And that was the secret sauce all last year. Score early, score often, get in control of the game, put the boa constrictor around it, and then that's fourth quarter's over. Good night, everybody. 49ers aren't quite that right now. But they are not a trash can emoji. Not even close. Now, if you are the Seattle Seahawks, you're looking at the 49ers and you're thinking to yourself, well, this is the time to have them pop up on the schedule for the first time this year. They look vulnerable. They look beatable. In our own building, they should be beatable. I'm telling you, watch out for Jackson Smith and Jigba tonight, because it really isn't. The 49ers aren't getting toasted game in, game out with the other team's elite receiver beating you. It's usually like the other guy. How good is your third best corner at defending their third best wide receiver? That goes a long way tonight. Who is going to be that nickel? Are we going to see more Rolando Green? Are we going to see less guys who have not exactly popped? Devondre Campbell has been picked on like a fat kid at recess. Demetrius Flanagan-Fowles should be the next man up, but he's not been participating in practice. Get D. Winners out there. No Talanoa Hufanga, who's had some problems. Now, maybe that's an opportunity for Malik Mustafa to prove he can be this team's free safety. He can get it down with more reps and more experience for the Rook. You don't want to necessarily learn how to hit the curveball in the big leagues, but that is the situation the 49ers are in right now. I'd like to see Jacob Cowing get a couple of design plays just for him, just to get him involved, not in the game plan, but in the season overall. And I want to see this team handle Kenneth Walker and Zach Charbonnet. You can't let both of those guys go for about 80 yards each on you tonight. You got to have a good night slowing this running game down and making Seattle one-dimensional somehow, some way. It's going to make everything a little bit easier for a defensive line to get some pressure on Geno Smith. Let's see more of that. Don't be clown shoes on special teams, and things should get better. Freddie G wants to know, Ike's only located in California? No. It is growing. It is growing. They're in Arizona now. They're up in Oregon, I believe. They are up in Washington, I believe. They're certainly in Nevada. They're in Arizona. It's growing, baby. It's growing. Soon there'll be Ike's bald head, not the golden arches, but this lovely man's bald head everywhere. Skills report feeling it today. Plus, yeah, baby. Here we are. Big game tonight. Big games get me excited. This is a good one, and we got the stage all to ourselves. I expect a massive audience in here at the 2-minute warning. I hope you plan on being here, and I don't care if you're a Niner fan, a Seahawk fan, you are welcome in a chat room that doesn't treat people like shit. That's what I'm very proud of building here on YouTube, an actual chat room where a modicum of respect is shown every now and then. We got poetry going on, Chef A, who doesn't like Dutch Crunch. I'm not a Dutch Crunch gal myself. Dre Greenlaw has been missing from this season. Colin Cowherd, I don't even think knows that, to be honest with you. Hufanga's had more bad luck than been injury prone. I would agree there. I would agree. Let's get a little luck of his to turn around. Hopefully it'll happen soon. Niners Worldwide saying, Damon, we hope so. We hope so. We hope so. Yeah, a win over the Seahawks is going to turn into an awful lot of hope, I think. And then you beat the Kansas City Chiefs and watch everybody just start blowing the Niners again. Oh, my God. Everyone who was ready to throw them out of the party is now saying, oh, they're the best-looking girl in the room. It'll happen. It'll happen. This is what happens, again, when inexperienced people try to join the conversation or try to lead the conversation. You know, I've watched and covered about 20 NFL seasons. So who you are in week 6, it starts to matter. Like the season is now. It really is. The Niners are out of mulligans. They didn't do well with their mulligan games, but they're out of them now. They did not stack wins to make mistakes later in the year, which is what they needed to do in their early season going, but it didn't happen. SG Sports Talk Channel, what is your prediction for the 49ers game tonight? 49ers 28, Seahawks 17. That's my prediction. I think the 49ers win. I think the 49ers cover. I think the 49ers finish off drives in red zones. I think the 49ers are going to be emboldened to be more aggressive on 4th and short within field goal range. And that's because they got a backup kicker. I want them to be aggressive. I want them to start solving red zone solutions. If Kyle has done nothing for the last 3 days, I promise you he's been drawing up red zone plays. They've been just going over red zone, red zone, red zone, red zone. Why drill anything else? You're kicking ass all over the football field. You're moving the ball on every blade of grass all over the field. All over the field, except for the final 20 yards of the field. So that's what you got to work on. And you know what? Jordan Mason, stop fumbling and start rumbling into the end zone. Young man. Get it done. Get it done. Again, I wanted to make this a 49er Seahawk pregame show live stream today. The other stuff that we normally get into, I'm leaving out of this one. So if you came just for this topic is the only topic you got. No complaints. Go ahead, like, subscribe, share this video with a 49er fan who might not be aware of the fact that we go live at the 2-minute warning, and I hopefully will be seeing you about 8:30-ish West Coast time tonight right back here on the Plus. The one thing that I do need to, though, share with you is everybody could use a little history lesson, and that's where we're going to wrap up today's live stream with a little history lesson for you. But one more time, thank you so much to my man Ikes. You sign up for that Love Rewards program, and you do it now, please, my good friends. The Dubliner in West Portal, not Dubliner, California, but the Dubliner West Portal in San Francisco is where Plus Mania, are we at 5 now? Plus Mania 5? Already is going to be happening during the bye week, so stick around for details there. And I will also let you know that if you want to wager anything on tonight's game, go ahead and do it over on BetUS. Start your playing there today. If you sign up right now using promo code YouTube150, you can get a 150% deposit match on your first deposit up to $2,000 and 125% on your next 2 deposits up to $2,000. Thanks so much to our friends at BetUS who will be sponsoring tonight's post-game live stream. You see these dope-ass helmets? You want some helmets in your life? Go to Green Gridiron. The link is in the description of this video. Use promo code Bruce when you check out. You're going to find the coolest college helmets, the coolest pro helmets, the alternative helmets. You want customizable helmets and go nuts? You got it. You want mini helmets, replica helmets? You want the real fucking deal helmets? They got all of it for you. It is the coolest customizable football souvenir shop you have ever seen in the department of helmets. Go to Green Gridiron. They do fabulous work. Thank you for being a fabulous audience. I will be doing fabulous work for you at the 2-minute warning. Join me tonight at the 2-minute warning. I hope to see you back here on the Plus at the 2-minute warning. Huge Thursday night game. Let's go.